look at the 2007 National Design Policy, may be a very simple document, but for the institution, it was a game changer. The two campuses which were set up in time from 2003 to 2006, the process of setting up the campuses took place, and thereafter logically in 2007 when the design policy came, and later in 2009 and following the year, the situation with the postgraduate programs made it possible for the institute to become a national institute of national importance. One of my colleagues from NIFT the other way was talking to me, and she was telling me that one of the things which we did, which all the people were watching at that time, how an undergraduate institute like NID, which had only a higher level program attached to it, led to 17 postgraduate programs in a span of less than 5 years. And we had programs like information design, software user interface design, design experience in the two areas of retail and digital experience, and toy design and development, automobile and transportation design. And we introduced the programs of postgraduate programs which nobody had seen at that point in time. And I'm happy that, if emulation or copying is the best form of admiration, then I would say that almost all the institutes in the country have followed suit, by most of them slightly changing the name here and there, but by and large introducing those postgraduate programs. And when a NIFT faculty recently told me that after the graduates come out of the undergraduate program in NIFT, they are all taking to the postgraduate programs which are offered in NID. This shows that the timely introduction of the postgraduate programs, along with the National Design Policy, which gave a prime importance to the institute, and what it could have done more was something probably, if NID had allowed the National Institute of Design to be a separate entity, and India Design Council a separate entity, it would have been probably better, with the headquarters maybe in Delhi, looking at a global orientation to Indian design. So India's manufacturing activity, which the Honorable Prime Minister has called Make in India, or served from India, which was already, we had called in the National Design Policy, a design enabled India, made in India, designed in India, made for the world, and served from India. All these were coined already. But Make in India and Startup India and all this came much later, Skill India. Now, if this transformation is linked properly, design becomes the essential skill of all Indians to convert their thinking into more innovation and to create ideas which will fetch commercial outcomes. It would have been a much better outcome. Unfortunately, I think it was more of holding the meetings, but really having very little outcome in terms of to show where it has headed. And I'm also a little bit peeved from the fact that we had a very strong relationship with the World Body of Design, ICSID. And I'm happy to say that I served 3 terms on the board, 2003 to 5, and then 2007 to 9, and in between 2000, as soon as I began, 2001 to 2003. So all these years, that connection to the world network of design helped us to understand what Scandinavia was doing with their design policies, what Korea was doing with the design policies, and what was the general thinking of the Western world in terms of US and Europe. All this actually helped in forming the National Design Policy 2007. But you can see there has been a complete hiatus in terms of building that network later, and there have been hardly any global activities of design happening in India. Very little, exhibitions which have been taken up by private bodies. But I think there more cohesive action would have helped the Indian designers and Indian design industry to grow. Though it is said that it is about 1800 crores now, the design industry in India, probably it could have been many multiples of that, given the good economic growth of 7% and above in all these years, in all these decades just getting behind us. I would comment on the new policy at an appropriate time, but I would like the designers, the industry, the students and the stakeholders to make a conscious evaluation of how the design policy has helped. One, at the point of the institute, how the institute was helped by the policy, and the designers to think how the design policy helped them to grow their design practices. And for industry, through the design mark and others, did it help them? Or what could have been done more by the India Design Council? These questions are still, remain to be answered, because finally leadership requires to take risk, and if you are risk-averse designer, is not your call. You require to take those bold steps to take Indian design forward and to make India's voice in design to be heard across the world.